Lay. What's up? Yeah. Yeah.
Kane is in the building.
Yeah. Already the show goes on all night.
What's up, everybody? It's your nappy head, anime watching, otaku loving, hard to soft shell taco spoken, IT knowing lover boy who ain't large in the life, but he dang sure large in the mouth. Is your boy House DC, not to get confused with MD. So today, what we're gonna be doing is I'm just basically gonna be talking about my top 10 favorite movies of all time, people. I'm talking magic. Film magic, one of the best kinds of magic. Quick side note, I actually myself wanted and still do want to be an actor one day, so I'm hoping that works out eventually. But until then, I'm gonna go ahead and keep spinning on hot fire on this mic right here, boy. So before we get started, I actually want to get a couple things out the way right now. Keep in mind, and listen up, I'm about to tell y'all some real classified stuff here. Keep in mind, I was born in 1995. So on this list, don't get mad at me just because I ain't got no old-timey movies, like no old westerns, no Clint Eastwood or nothing like that, alright? I was born in 1995. I'm a pretty nerdy guy, alright? So expect some nerdy movies, but don't worry, I love all genres of movies except for horror. So sorry all you horror fans out there, but I don't have any of those on here because I'm just one of those people, you know, scared like a little girl, like a little baby. There we go, that's bad. Also, I just want to remind everybody that this is my personal list, all right? Don't go killing me. Don't go killing the messenger. No, don't go killing nobody, especially me. This is my personal list, all right? If you disagree, I don't know what for. It's my personal list. I mean, like, you can go and make your own list if you want to. That'll be fine with me. No problems here. So yeah, let's get this thing rolling. Alright, everybody, so as you can see, number 10 is Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. Let's start off with the actors. Two of the best foreign actors I know. I know I just put a label on them, but so what? We got the amazing John Chow, who before this movie I didn't even know. I only seen him in a minor role in Big Fat Liar, which is a Frankie Muniz movie, which you don't need to worry about. And also my man Kal Penn, which also before the Harold and Kumar series, I only seen him in a supporting role, Van Wilder. There we go. Love that movie too. Sadly, it didn't make this list. I love this because, of course, it's just your average stoner film. It's like went out of its way to be hilarious and also went out of its way to be even more funnier than the predecessor, go to White Castle. It was just funny, especially with supporting role Rob Corddry. He's just one of the funniest guys ever. I mean, like, I watch his show Children's Hospital sometime, and like him in Hot Tub Time Machine 1, I can't wait for 2 to come out. I'm pretty sure that's gonna make this list eventually. Like, he's just a funny guy, and like him being the FBI agent chasing him the whole time, or CIA agent, either way, it was funny. Every scene he was in, he basically stole from Harold and Kumar. It's like how funny it was. And of course, the amazing Neil Patrick Harris. Man, I love NPH. I love him from everything he used to do to what he's doing now. He's just a hilarious guy, and the way they have him as a cameo actor in the films is just pretty outlandishly funny. Alright, next we got up number 9, people. This is, I'm pretty sure everybody could agree upon, hands down one of the greatest crime films to the date, people. I mean, like, it is so amazing how they depicted mafia living back in the days. It's just amazing. Like, to me, this movie and also Scarface is what launched Al Pacino's career. If you're an Al Pacino fan, you understand this right here. If you're not, don't worry about it. And of course, all praise to the reason the part 1 beat up, in my opinion, part 1 of The Godfather beat part 2 and 3 solely because the greatness of the late and great actor Marlon Brando, who played the amazing Vito Corleone in that movie. Perfect performance. Alright people, we on to number 8 already. Number 8 I have is Fast and Furious 5. Now the reason I have Fast and Furious 5 is because of, not only because of the great ensemble of a cast, and this is like their first time doing that, and then they drag that into 6, and we'll be dragging that into 7, the great ensemble cast they have. I'm not only done it because of that, but also, to be honest, I was going to go with 6, but then I thought the way The Rock was in 5 was even more amazing, with everybody, with Tyrese, Ludacris, Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Dwayne Rock Johnson. It's an amazing cast, and I enjoyed 5 more than 6 because of the plain fact that I thought Rock was so much better being against them than with them. When it came to the comedy, it was better when he was with them, but when it came to the action and the violence, it was so great to see The Rock against Vin Diesel. Like, that's the matchup that everybody wanted to see. That's the matchup you went to the movies to see. And this is just freaking amazing, and I know I enjoyed it. Alright, next we got Sherlock Holmes, people. And yes, I do mean the 2009 film with Robert Downey Jr. and the amazing Jude Law as Watson. I mean, like, this depiction of the Sherlock Holmes franchise was amazing to me, because I'm not one for books. Like, I'm not really a bookworm. I've only picked up a couple of books off my own free will and read through them through the whole thing. But sadly, Sherlock Holmes was never one that appealed to me. But this, the way Robert Downey depicted him and the way they made him in these Sherlock Holmes films, put Sherlock Holmes in a brand new light. They put him in a brand new light. They made him appealing to a new crowd instead of the regular crowd, which is nothing wrong with that, of course. But they wanted everybody, even if you're into action and stuff, they wanted everybody to at least know the genius of Sherlock Holmes, and they definitely got it out with the 2 movies. I just believe they were great performances, hands down great performances by Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. Just amazing as a pair. I feel as though if anybody else played Watson besides Jude Law, the film probably wouldn't have worked out like it did. Now, this next one, some of you may be sitting there just scratching your head like, what the hell is Irish Jam? Let me tell you what Irish Jam is, brother. Irish Jam is one of the best comedy movies out there. I don't really care what you feel about it. That's my opinion, people. My opinion. One of my favorite comedians of all time, Eddie Griffin, stars in this film, and to be honest, it was between this and Double Take, which he also stars in with Orlando Jones, which was pretty close, but I had to go with Irish Jam because I just love the way the story, out of all the movies on this list, this one is not just here because of the story, but also because of the soul that Eddie Griffin himself put into this movie. I felt as though it was one of his best masterpieces ever. It was a great comedy. I watch it now just as much as I did when I was a kid. It's a great watch. Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, David Spade, and Kevin James. There's really nothing else to say about this film. What makes this film so great? Like, Grown Ups 2 was just a great comedy all around, one of the best comedies ever. And the reason why it's in my top 10 is because when I went, well, funny story, I skipped work one day with my girlfriend, and when we skipped work, we didn't even plan on skipping. We was planning on going to work, and then the movie theater was right there, and I was like, hey, let's go to the movies instead of work. And that's what we did. It was an amazing choice, and of course I didn't regret it. So we go to the movies and we see Grown Ups 2. Every minute of the movie, busting out laughing, me and my girlfriend. This is the only movie, people, that's ever made me do that in my life. And I will give some credit because it was in theater, so everything's better in theater, first of all. I think everybody knows that. But even still, it still made me bust out laughing every minute. It's from the beginning where Adam was getting peed on by the moose to the end where everybody in town got in a fight with Taylor Lautner and the rest of the sorority that the guys were in. I don't know, is sorority? No, Serenity is girls, sorority is guys. Perfect. Number 4 is shout outs and all that great stuff to these cats. I'm not even going to front. I need to grab my notebook and put it up here so I can read it real quick. I'm not even going to front on you. Alright, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Don Cheadle, Bernie Mac, Scott Caan, Cassie Affleck, Carl Renner, Elliot Gould, and Shinobu Quinn. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, Quinn. Oh my god, this ensemble of cast is the sole reason this is number 4 on my list, you guys. This cast blew it away. I've never seen the original Ocean's 11, but I'll be damned if they didn't live up to expectations when they did the remake of Ocean's 11. And also an amazing comedy heist film, like, is pretty freaking hilarious, but at the same time you can follow it, so it's not like they're talking out of this world so you can't follow. You follow every single minute of it. Oh, believe me, Bernie there to make sure everybody can. And like, see, I'm actually love the whole Ocean's franchise, but the reason I picked 11 is because this is the first one I've seen, of course, and this is the first time they all shine together, and it was just amazing to see that whole thing work out like that. And it was amazing how all of these famous actors and not so famous can just get together and like do something amazing like that. It was just great. And like, compared to all 3 of them, this 11 had the best storyline to me, most likely because it was the remake from the original, and the other 2 were made to be a sequel to that Ocean's 11. So maybe it's because it was a remake, so maybe so, but still the storyline for 11 was the best out of the 3. And one thing though I do have to say about the whole Ocean's franchise, because I love the whole franchise as a whole, one of the best trilogies ever. Like 11, the only thing 11 didn't do that 12 and 13 did that made it a big success was the clever twist at 12 and 13 at the end of those 2, but like I said, that was the original, so that was the remake to the original, so have to make do. Also, shout outs to Andy Garcia being the best villain he always been, and Julia Roberts too on her supporting roles as Tess. Okay, so my number 3 spot goes to the amazing cast of Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, and Julianne Moore, and the rest of the great supporting cast for Crazy Stupid Love. To be completely honest with you, this movie is the reason I made this video in the first place, you guys. This movie was almost so perfect. I mean, like, I tell you, it was almost so perfect, you guys. They had the right amount of love, the right amount of jokes, and the right amount of family moments to make this one of the best romance comedies ever to be made, you guys. Like, it's freaking amazing. And like, the whole coincidence thing, that's where the drama part comes in, and like the romance, the individual stories of like how a marriage can break up so fast but also rekindle, like just like that, how even young people can feel this crazy thing called love is just overall in general just an amazing film. Alright, so for my number 2 spot, my number 2 spot was actually my number 1 spot for a long time until last year. So we got the Nerd King Michael Cera and the Scream Queen Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I butcher a lot of people's names. Kill me in the comment box, why don't you? So like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm a pretty nerdy guy, so this, as soon as I seen the trailer for this movie, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, it automatically appealed to me. And I was just like, what? Some nerdy guy who was doing like this, ninja superhero type stuff, but still just a regular person out here fighting for a girl, these weird, crazy 7 other people. It was pretty fun to watch. Hands down, it's like one of those movies where you like, wow, I wish my life was like that. Sorta, kinda. Not really, but yes, that's basically what I wish my life was like. Only sometimes. So what I really enjoyed about this, hands down, would be the storyline, which was taken from the comic book. Well, of course, not all the parts, because as soon as I seen the movie, I read all 6 volumes of the comic book, and I loved it. And of course, I was a little upset that they changed some things, but you got to when you turn it into a film. All of the great ones do. Like, Scott Pilgrim was just, to me, just amazing. And like, I'm pretty sure everybody out there who's a Michael Cera or even just a nerd in general just really Of course, not relate, but relate in a sense where you would want that to happen to you. And that's just the amazing truth about it. What? You didn't see that coming? I'm a nerd, people. This is what I live for. Come on now, man. If you didn't see a Marvel's film coming for number one, I don't know what you're doing watching this channel, man. Now, House isn't all nerd, but House is 90% nerd, alright? You hear what I'm saying here? This film was hands down my favorite film of all time, which is proven because I watch it over and over and over again. I freaking love Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just an amazing movie altogether. I freaking love it. What I loved most about it is that it separated itself from other hero movies. It gave itself its own flavor, its own style. Hands down though, hands down, the reason I love this movie so much is the way that the cast brought this film together. How the cast defined these characters. How the cast made these characters larger than life. Thank you, Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel as Groot. I know that had to be the easiest job. He had one line that he said about a maximum of 15 times maybe. And Bradley Cooper as Rocket. These five brought these characters alive. Characters I haven't even knew of. Well, I knew of them, but characters I haven't even read about. It made me love them without even knowing them. I love them more than I love Iron Man now. It's amazing how this movie came out of nowhere and just completely swept this Marvel nerd off his feet. It's amazing. And if you don't believe me, just watch the film yourself. Well, everybody, that was my top 10 favorite movies of all time, people. And thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe to the page for more amazing content from your boy House DC. And thanks for watching. Go ahead, comment on the comment box below and tell me how much you hate me and my choices and my guts. Because it's amazing feeling, people. Oh, and him? Oh, that's House Jr. Don't worry about him.